Nate Bailey with BarebowHunter.com, and today we're going to continue our series that we have on our YouTube channel, Southern Oregon Outdoors, and it's how to hunt with the traditional bow. We've gone over an introduction of who I am and how I came into bow hunting, into traditional bow hunting, and we've gone over philosophies and the reasons why to start traditional bow hunting. And then we had a three-part series on how to pick a traditional bow and why I picked what I picked. We talked about grip, how it fits you with your grip. We talked about the profile of the bow. We've talked about the reasons that you would pick a certain bow for what you're doing. If you're hunting out of a tree stand or out of a ground blind, or you're out in the thick elk woods and stuff like that. So today I'm going to go over, now that you've picked your bow out, I'm going to go over how to get it set up, how to start getting it set up to where you can start shooting it and getting to where you know exactly where you want to set this bow. A couple of things though, if you haven't seen the other 3 videos, you need to go back and check those videos out first. So just if you're just jumped into this video series, go to our channel, Southern Oregon Outdoors, and then hit the bare bow section of Southern Oregon Outdoors, and then just start from the top and work your way down. You could also go to BarebowHunter.com. I'm putting them on BarebowHunter.com. I just started a forum over there, so you could go into BarebowHunter.com, go up and see the forum tab, go down in it, and I will have a video section, and I'll place all the videos in there as well. So those are all ways that you can go and check out these videos. The video series itself is to get you into bow hunting. I'm not trying to get you into all the technical things that traditional bow hunting involves. I'm trying to keep it as simple as I can. That way more and more people come into it. But I want to give you enough information that you don't get totally discouraged when you take this up, because you got to have that information too. But I don't want to give you the fire hose either, so you come into this thinking, man, this is a really tough thing. Keep it simple, especially bare bows. Wade Morris and I were talking about this the other night. Bare bows, traditional archery, is a lot easier than a lot of what people make it out to be. Now, you could start going from there, and a lot of people do, and they get really involved, and that's part of the fun too. Getting so dialed that everything's just perfect is fun too. But that's not my goal here. My goal here is to get this into your hands and make you feel confident that you can hunt with this thing within 25 yards of an animal. And then I'm trying to teach you also how to get within that 25 yards of the animal. So let's go over how to get this thing set up. You get the bow, it comes in the mail like this, and comes with a string on it, and that string, it could be several different types. It could be a Flemish twist. This is a Flemish twist string. It's got several different strands in it, and it's twisted together. They're made differently than a continuous loop string, and so the Flemish twist is usually what I go after. Usually your Boyer will put a string on it for you. They usually will get you set up for the string. So what I'm going to show you today is how to set brace. And when you're setting brace, your Boyer has the brace height is, he's got a brace height that he likes to set. Now, I'm different than what Wade's the one that made this bow, and he likes to set it at 7.5. I go to 7 5/8. I'll even go to 7 3/4 on my brace height. So I'll show you how I do this. Now, I'm not doing it with a bow square today. To start out, you probably want to get a bow square, but I'm showing you how to do this without having to buy that all that information. My arrows are set up to my brace. So when I have my arrow set up, that is 7 5/8 right there. So this is set up for my brace height for this bow. And the reason I do that, there's another reason I do that just beyond having a pretty arrow. There's also a reason that I set up the brace height, or I set the cresting at 7 5/8, because I can always check and make sure that my bow's still in tune. So I'm going to show you how to set up the brace height and what the difference is in brace heights. So you really only need a bow square to get you within, and start with what your Boyer tells you, and then go from there. You'll probably adjust it from what he tells you, because it's a personal thing, but that's a great starting point. So the first thing you want to do is when you look at your bowstring, this one's already been used, of course. I already have my silencers in it. I would rather have a silent bow other than a fast bow. So I'll put more silencers in it than I will worry about. I want that bow quiet. And now if you look at your string, you'll have two different loops, the top and the bottom, and your top loop is going to be closer to what they call the serving. This is, boy, you probably can't see that because I have brown in the background. Maybe that'll help. But this is the serving, okay? And I've already put a knock set on there. I'm going to take that off when I show you how to set the knock up. But so when you look at your string, look at which section has the least, is closest to your loop end with your serving. That would be the top of your string. That's not necessarily true for all strings, but most strings that come like that. So you can see how much your distance is in between your serving and your loop here, and then how much distance there is between your serving and loop here. Some of these will be even sometimes. Some people will make them with an even section in between there. Most of my strings come because everybody that I get my strings from know that I shoot split finger, so I'm going to have 2 fingers down and 1 finger up, so I don't need as much serving up at the top as I do down at the bottom. So, but some of them will come even, some of them come right in the middle, and then they'll go up farther. But I don't want to put as much, I don't put as much serving on. All I want serving for is where my fingers go. I don't need much more than that. So that's the way you're looking at setting up your string. So when you get it, if it's not even, make sure that you put the shortest section towards the top of your bow. Okay? With these bows, and I always like to have the bottom string on first, and then the bottom string will be the one that stays on for me constantly. You can do it either way, it doesn't matter. But I put the string on, and these bows you have to, I see Wade put these together without a stringer, but I won't do it on this radical of a bow. On a long bow I do it all the time. But this bow here, you could probably twist it pretty quick if you tried to do it without a stringer. So I brought my stringer along, I'll show you. So what I do is I put, and make sure you talk to your bowyer about this. See how tight that string is on this bow, even without it being strung. So buy yourself a cheap little stringer, and I like to do it the opposite of the way I have it right now. I like to put my top down, and a lot of string makers, when I have a string made, I'll have the top string a little bit bigger than the bottom string. That way I could slip it down the top, because when I hang it on my bow rack at home, I hang it from the top. So I always have, and I usually will have a tip protector down on the bottom, and it stays in the notches. So that's what I like to do. Put your stringer on, set your brace, and remember, you don't have to have a bow square to do this with. And I'm going to show you the way that reason you don't have to have a bow square. So this is what they call brace. Okay, when your bow is sitting with just its stored energy in the limbs, all the energy is stored into the limbs. If I don't get this all wound up here, just a second. So this is sitting at brace. This is your bow sitting at brace. Okay, with all of this energy is stored into the limb, so when you come off a brace, wow, I forgot how smooth this little bow was. This is quite a bit lighter than the one I'm shooting right now, so it's just butter. Anyhow, so when it's at brace here, so the distance that they're talking about, and most bowyers talk about this distance right here from on your riser where your hand goes to the string. That is your brace height. Some bowyers, and I've heard of some guys talking about their brace height being from the riser back. So ask your bowyer where he recommends measuring your brace. Of course, I always have done it from here to here, and that's the old school way. Some bowyers, I've heard some bowyers don't do it that way. They do it from there to there. But that's the way I do it. Now, before you start setting your brace, what you want to do is on a wooden arrow, or any arrow that you have, take a tape measure and come from the knock groove and come down 7.5 inches, or whatever your bowyer tells you. 7.5 inches for a recurve is probably pretty close. If you go 7.5 inches from a recurve and start there, you'll be within the ballpark. So this one's 7 5/8 to there. So when I set my brace, when I set my arrow on here, you can look right here, and I am off brace by that much. My brace is too far in. Now, what happens when your brace is too far in? Well, for one, you'll probably hit yourself. That's a big thing about when your brace is too far in. Your bow usually is noisier. There comes a point in time when your arrow follows that string too far, because when your bow shoots, it's coming in like this before that arrow leaves, and so you'll get erratic arrow flight. So there's all sorts of things. Each bow loves its certain brace height. I'm going to grab a carbon arrow and I'll shoot this at this low brace height into that stump there's a stump over here, and I'll shoot it into that, and you can probably watch this arrow flight. So that low brace height, now it's funny because that wasn't very loud bow, even with the lower brace height. Most of the time, if you lower this brace height even more, and I'm going to do that for you right now to show you what it sounds like when you get that lower brace height. So once you've determined that that's too low of a brace height, then you would want to adjust it, and I'm going to show you how to adjust your brace height. You got to take it back off, and I'm gonna make it lower. So I'm going to make a lower brace height. And of course, this brace height is too low right now for this bow, but I'm trying to make a point here. I'm trying to show you what a low brace height will do. And to adjust your brace height, so if you want the string to come closer to the riser, you're going to lengthen the string. If you want the string to go farther from the riser, you're going to shorten the string, because it pulls those limbs around the shorter the string, and it lets them relax more the longer the string. So the way you do it with the Flemish twist, and with all of them, the Flemish twist has a lot more, you can do a lot more of this with it. So I'm just unwinding some of that twist that's in the string. Now my brace is going to be quite a bit shorter because I made that string longer, and I'll show you how that looks, and then I'll shoot another arrow out of it. I don't know if we could get Wade's bow to be loud. That's the reason I like this Mongol, is it's not loud. The arrow's louder than the bow, and that's what I try to continue with. So let's get that guy on there. So look at how short that brace is now, and you notice my knock point is creeped up too. Let me shoot another arrow. Let's see if we can get this loud. All right, I'm going to shoot another arrow right at that log. That's still not loud, but my brace height is way off. Now, remember I said I like 7 5/8, and that's right here. 7 5/8 is right there. So what am I going to do to get my 7 5/8? Well, I will keep messing around with brace height until I get it there. Let's go to the top here. If you hear grunting over there, that's Gunner. He's digging for mice. Okay. Let's go ahead and adjust this guy. Now there's a sweet spot on every bow for the person shooting that bow. There's a sweet spot for every bow for the person shooting that bow on where brace height is, where you're going to get the fastest arrow flight and the quietest bow and the softest pull, all those things put together. So for me on this bow, it's 7 5/8. I'm just going to twist this guy up. And I'm making it shorter now because I need more brace height. Put it back on there. And then I'll check it against my arrow. I'm not going to check it. I don't have to have my bow square because I took an arrow, measured it with a tape measure, put marks on my arrow where it needs to be. Trying to get around having to have a bunch of tools. I'm just trying to get you guys into this. At some point you'll probably want to get a bow square, but I'm just trying to get you guys to shoot your bow the minute it comes home. Because everybody should shoot their bow. When you get a new bow, you should, if it comes in at night, I don't care, you should shoot that. Okay, so see where my brace height has gone? Now I have a bigger brace. Let's check it against my marks. Little more. I'm still off. Still off just a little bit, about half an inch, so I need to redo it. A little tight right now, so we'll see. I shortened it again. I shortened it, and here we go. Oh boy, that's way high. Look at how high that is. That's about 10 inches. I'm gonna relax that and come off of it. I twisted it too much. See how much more brace it has and how far it is now? Hunting purposes, because I always carry an extra string, is what I'll do is I'll shoot a string in. I'll shoot one string quite a bit. Get it. I'd rather have a string that's been stretched and maybe even a little bit frayed than a string that hasn't been shot with me, because I know it'll be good. I know it'll be good and stretched by the time I'm ready to shoot. Let's take a look at this guy. Okay, that's perfect. All right, so there we go. That's the brace that I like to shoot. There you go. So that's pretty easy, you guys. To check your brace, that's how you do it. You take it and you check all those things, and then once you get everything set up, you're ready to shoot the bow. Next thing you're going to want to do is set the nock point. So there you go. If you haven't, you guys, I hope this is helping you guys out. Please leave me some comments below. Leave me some questions below. Ask me some things that you want to learn. I don't know all of this stuff, but I've been around it long enough to know people who do. So, and I've been around long enough to make a ton of mistakes when I'm setting up my stuff. So I can help you out. I've had a ton of questions, people asking me certain things, and keep them coming. I'm here to. We really want to advance this kind of archery. It's really important to me and a lot of my friends. Traditional archery, I hate calling it traditional because it was just plain old archery for thousands of years. So please leave some comments below. Give me a like or subscribe if you can. Go over to Barebow Hunters group. Go check out my stuff on Instagram, Barebow Hunter. Go to barebowhunter.com. Check out all the stuff on barebowhunter.com. Enter the forums, you guys. Post away. Post away. We're going to keep that place new friendly, so I want you guys coming out. Oh, if you're getting into traditional bows, maybe you're shooting compounds now and you're going to start shooting traditional for turkeys or something like that, come over and do that and enjoy yourselves. We're here to help you. So there should be a subscribe button down here, and then over here there'll be my last video, so go check those out. All right, thanks a lot, guys.